Coming up on the Bluffton News, what do you think are the biggest news stories in Bluffton for 2012? Compare your list with that of Lynn Hummel from the Bluffton Sun. Also ahead, Shellie West-Hodges gives us her take on the top business stories in Bluffton for 2012. Stay right there. The Bluffton News is next. Welcome to the Bluffton News. I'm McNair in for Annalisa Itkor. One of 4 suspected shoplifters is dead following the crash of their vehicle in Jasper County. According to the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office on Thursday, authorities spotted a vehicle on Highway 46 that matched a car described by a Tanger One store clerk who said he was assaulted as he tried to stop 4 suspected shoplifters. Deputies later spotted the vehicle near the Jasper County line and gave chase. When they caught up with the car, they found that it had struck a pickup truck and crashed into a tree. A 19-year-old Savannah woman was found dead in that vehicle. According to the Jasper County coroner, she likely died of massive head trauma. The town of Bluffton was featured recently in the travel section of the Chicago Tribune. In an article titled "Finding the Tree Where the Confederacy Took Root," writer Mike Conklin describes the location of the secession tree, where Representative Robert Barnwell Rhett proclaimed that it was time to consider separation from the Union. Conklin writes of Bluffton, quote, "Bluffton is a tidewater community surrounded by marshes, rich with plant life and loaded with reasons to stop. The Bluffton Historical District, a square mile of shops, landmark buildings, and a terrific farmers market anchors everything," end quote. The town of Bluffton has a new tool to look at storm water runoff and pollutant loads in the May River watershed. Currently, town staff members are using that new software to calculate runoff in Rosedew Creek. They'll do the same with Stony Creek and eventually model the entire May River watershed. The new software cost about $12,000. Back in 2009, the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control started restricting shellfish harvesting in the 900-acre headwater area of the May River because of rising bacteria levels, which were later attributed to Bluffton's rapid pace of development. The town has since started taking steps to restore the river and prevent further degradation. Now here's a look at news from around the state. 2 lobbyists, one who is a 9-year veteran of the State Department of Transportation, will push for an increase in South Carolina's 16-cent a gallon gas tax. The state's gas tax currently is the 3rd lowest in the country. The lobbyists have been hired by a group known as the South Carolina Alliance to Fix Our Roads. It says the tax hike is needed to pay for close to $50 billion work in road construction and repairs that will be needed over the next 20 years. The group faces considerable opposition, including that from Governor Nikki Haley. The governor came out against increasing the gas tax as part of her executive budget proposal earlier this month. Well, the number of deaths and hospitalizations from the flu in South Carolina already exceeds all of last year's numbers, even though we're only partway through the flu season. 10 deaths from the flu have been reported across the state. According to the State Department of Health and Environmental Control, 519 people with laboratory-confirmed influenza were admitted to hospitals from September 30th through December 15th of 2012. Now, last year's flu season from October 2nd of 2011 to July 7th of 2012 began late and resulted in 1 death. 114 people were hospitalized with lab-confirmed flu from October 2nd, 2011 to July 7th of 2012. So far, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, widespread flu has been reported in 29 states, and that includes South Carolina. Well, the number of people killed on South Carolina highways is about even with last year. This year's numbers had been lower until, according to the State Highway Patrol, the number of fatalities spiked beginning in November. So far this year, 823 people have been killed in wrecks statewide. And troopers say that figure is about twice the national average. Trooper Kelly Hughes says drinking, speeding, and not wearing a seatbelt are to blame for many of those deaths. Troopers plan on cracking down on drinking and driving over the upcoming New Year's weekend. For 2 days in January, South Carolina residents will be able to go hunting without a license. The State Department of Natural Resources says South Carolina residents can hunt on public land or private land with permission and don't have to fill out any paperwork on the days of January 4th and 5th. DNR officials say the free hunting period is offered to introduce new people to hunting and the outdoors. Authorities say that on those dates, all existing season requirements and limits on the number of animals that can be killed will still be in effect. Now, for more information on these stories and much more, you can check out these media sources on your screen. And we also invite you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. When we come back, a look at the stories that made big news in Bluffton during 2012. Stay with us, more of the Bluffton News in just a moment.
The smoked chipotle burrito is really good.
Yeah, my zesty cheesesteak burrito's great.
Are you familiar, Pete, with the phrase, don't mess with success?
Yeah.
Because this is not only messing with success, this is taking success to the cliff and shoving success over.
Success said, oh, please, don't do anything, leave me alone.
These burritos didn't even hear that. They heard, oh, put, and that was it. It was just like, wah. Egg everywhere.
Wake up to sirloin steak and fluffy eggs with the new zesty cheesesteak and smoked chipotle breakfast burritos. This is how you Sonic.
As the year comes to a close, it's interesting to take a look at the top news stories that took place in the Bluffton area. And here to help us do that is Lynn Hummel of the Bluffton Sun. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
Good, thanks. What about it? What would be some of the stories you would say are the highlights of 2012?
Well, I think for Bluffton, one of the main stories this year has been the opening of what was for months called a tech incubator and is now the Don Ryan Center for Innovation, located at Buckwalter Place Tech Park in space donated by CareCorps National, which of course was founded by the late Don Ryan. The center is a public-private partnership between the town of Bluffton and a nonprofit organization, and it's aimed at bringing tech-savvy entrepreneurs into town with their great ideas. The point is to diversify the local economy and create jobs. And the center now has 9 young businesses that are partners, including Jester Communications, Greenbug All Natural Products, Bottles Up, and ISS Group. Each business pays $200 a month to be part of this venture that offers support and mentoring from sponsoring businesses.
Now, there's some big business news that took place in Bluffton 2012.
That's right. Bluffton got its very first grassroots chamber of commerce dedicated solely to the town. Shellie West-Hodges, who also brings us the Bluffton News Business Report, was eventually named the executive director of the nonprofit, and she said that the creation of the chamber had nothing to do with any other organizations in the area and that it made sense for Bluffton to have its own chamber. And Hodges said that many local business owners had been talking about such a group for about a year, and they felt that they were not being well represented in local marketing efforts. Now the chamber has about 100 members, and it even held its first business expo in the fall.
Well, transportation getting around was made a little easier in 2012. Speak to that if you would.
That's right. 2 new phases of the Bluffton Parkway were opened in 2012, one in April and one in August. The first section ended at Malfresh Road in April, and just a few months later, the parkway opened yet another section, bringing the roadway extension to Buckingham Plantation Road in Moss Creek, just shy of the bridges to Hilton Head. And the 3-mile-long project cost about $11 million. Buckingham Plantation Road is where the parkway will eventually tie into flyovers that will lead directly to the bridges to Hilton Head at an estimated cost of about $34 million. And according to current plans, eventually the whole parkway will extend all the way out to I-95.
Well, Lynn Hummel with the Bluffton Sun, we appreciate your time here on the Bluffton News and look forward to having you on again throughout the year in 2013. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Allie.
Shellie West-Hodges joins us. She is the Executive Director of the Bluffton Chamber. Hi, Shellie.
Hi, Allie.
Well, I know you want to take a look back at 2012 and business topics in Bluffton. Well, first of all, as Lynn Hummel just mentioned, a new chamber for Bluffton.
Yes, I think that was very big news for Bluffton this year. Actually, the Bluffton Chamber, also termed as the Greater Bluffton Chamber, was organized in January of 2012 and started taking membership in April and running strong with about 300 business members.
Now, new business openings were an occurrence in Bluffton. Tell us about those and other activities.
Well, we had roughly 200 business licenses come through the town this past year, which includes commercial and home-based businesses, which is huge. Big upswing from the year before. That's very exciting. We had a lot of ribbon cuttings this year. We had CrossFit Bluffton, CrossFit 843, a lot of fitness centers opened up, Southern Butterfly.
And what about expansions or improvements? Did that happen as well with businesses in Bluffton?
Yes, the Surge Group, which owns Giuseppe's here in Bluffton, actually totally renovated and remodeled Giuseppe's and celebrated their 10th year anniversary here in Bluffton. That was big news. Promenade is expanding into a new restaurant here in the beginning of the year. Also, Powerhouse Gym also expanded. So we've had a lot of expansions. Another small business that's getting ready to open have their grand opening here in the next month is Vintage Market, and they moved from the Parkway over to 46 into a much bigger space. So a lot of things still happening, and everything seems positive and good for our business community.
Anything else as you look ahead to 2013 that you want people to keep an eye open for?
Well, one of the main things is that Bluffton has its quarterly business social that is January the 15th at Lakes at Myrtle on the Parkway at 5:30. That is a huge, great opening for the year for people to network and get their faces out there for the beginning of the year. So I'd look forward to that. January 29th is a health fair at the Greater Bluffton Chamber on Goethe Road. And we also have the Taste of Bluffton coming up in April, which will be a huge event for the area.
Well, lots to look forward to. Shellie West-Hodges of the Bluffton Chamber, thanks for joining us on the Bluffton News, and we look forward to speaking with you throughout 2013.
Thank you, Allie.
Coming up next on the Bluffton News, we'll talk about high school basketball airing on WHHI-TV, and Matt Green of Buckwalter Place joins us. We'll be right back.
Tara's Men's Den, located beside Tara's Salon at the Moss Creek Village, is a full-service salon for men only. Open Monday through Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. We offer haircuts, color, highlights, waxing, and treatments for hair loss. No appointment necessary, so come enjoy a relaxing atmosphere for men only, and don't forget senior discounts every Wednesday. Call or visit us today. Our number is 843-837-5555.
Welcome back to the Bluffton News. I'm Allie McNair, filling in for Annalisa Itkor. Joining me now is Matt Green with Buckwalter Place. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Allie. How are you?
Great, thank you. We want to mention, in the interest of full disclosure, Buckwalter Place is an advertiser here on WHHI. Tell us what is new at Buckwalter Place.
Well, thank you, and happy holidays to you and all your viewers. A lot of exciting things happening at Buckwalter Place right now. 2012 was really a great year for us in several respects. Buckwalter Place is a unique 94-acre mixed-use real estate project located in Bluffton, South Carolina at the intersection of the Buckwalter and Bluffton Parkways. Very unique project in the fact that we're bringing together a lot of different real estate uses into one environment to create a lot of synergy and compatibility between those real estate uses. For an example is, we have a grocery store, we have a family entertainment center, we have office buildings, we have gas stations, we have food uses, and several other things in the works. Bringing all those things together to really create an environment that people can do many things in one setting.
Well, you used the word unique a minute ago. What else, or what do you think makes Buckwalter Place unique? Well,
one of the things that I think really makes it unique is that it's sustainable, and a lot of people define sustainability in several different ways. One of the ways we try to look at it is the economic sustainability. You know, our area, I've said numerous times that our area needs to be diversified or more diversified, and one of the things that we really try to strive and work on is that economic sustainability. We started the Don Ryan Center for Innovation this year in May, and already have 9 companies with several companies pending. We're working with the town of Bluffton and other partners on really differentiating Buckwalter Place from an economic development standpoint. And hopefully in 2013, we'll be making some announcements to really further those efforts, because at the end of the day, we feel that if we can really diversify and create that economic engine that we need, the rest of those real estate uses surrounding Buckwalter Place, as well as the area, will all feed off of that energy, and those jobs that everybody talks about in our country right now is critically important, is very important. And so, you know, when I say Buckwalter Place is unique, that's what we're unique, because we're really trying to use our real estate to promote economic development and economic diversification.
I know you wanted to speak about the pathways, the road networks, et cetera, Greenwood trails. Can you do that?
Sure, yeah. The pathways is something that's unique. You know, Bluffton is a great place for outdoor exercising and activities with all the pathways along the roadways. But at Buckwalter Place, we have a greenway trail that is very unique. That's 1.5 miles surrounding the property, and I encourage people to get out and use it. One point of interest is we have a 24-hour endurance run that's taking place in February of 2013. So for people who want to see long distances run by some elite athletes, I encourage you to stop out.
Wow, that sounds like that'll be really interesting. Matt Green of Buckwalter Place, we thank you for joining us on the Bluffton News.
Thank you, Allie.
Thank you, Matt Green of Buckwalter Place. Now, when we return, we'll get the latest on the offerings of WHHI-TV, including high school basketball games being broadcast with Wayne Morris. Stay right there.
Okay, so it's a romantic dinner for two. Now, I've already cut some tomato. Time for the vinaigrette. You are going to love this. Okay, we need some sesame seeds. My favourite pan. Now, what's really important is...
With Merillat cabinets, you'll discover function that's irresistible.
Good thing I'm not the jealous type.
We're back with more on the Bluffton News. Joining me now, station manager of WHHI-TV, Wayne Morris, to talk about coverage of high school basketball and more. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, how are you?
Great, thank you. So high school basketball will be airing here on WHHI-TV. Give us a rundown if you could.
Well, we're very excited this year. We have 5 games, and it's going to be a nice mix of Hilton Head schools, Bluffton, and Beaufort. So it's a very well-rounded schedule. It's going to start January 15th, and what we do is we tape the games on Tuesdays, and then we air them Wednesdays at 7:30, Saturdays at 1, and Sundays at 6 p.m., and then every night at midnight. So they get a ton of coverage, but we put a lot of effort into these games, so we want to make sure we air them so everyone can see them.
Well, it seems like it might be a lot of times, but what kind of response do you get from people that tune in?
It's huge. I mean, high school athletics in general just encompass so many things that our TV station is all about, and that's just being local, serving the residents of our area and the families and the grandparents, and really just a great way to encompass everything that we try and do here at WHHI, and that's just be the local TV station for Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties.
Well, I think it's great, and I want to ask you, Annalisa Idkor isn't here today, the host of the Bluffton News, but the Bluffton News, a big new venture for WHHI-TV. Why did the station decide to do this, and what kind of response have you been getting?
Well, we started, obviously, about 2 years ago with the Low Country Report, and when we got our new channel placement on Hargrave Channel 8, we quickly realized that our household numbers had leaped. So we figured that the area is just so starving for, each area is starving for its own newscast. Beaufort, Bluffton, and Hilton Head, are 3 really separate communities. We're all under the same umbrella, but everybody kind of has their own mindset in their own town. So we quickly realized, we need to have a Bluffton News. And Annalisa, we'd known her for a while. She'd done some contract work for us, and she works over at the radio station 104.9 FM, and had a good relationship with her. She came in and auditioned, did a great job, and we're just really excited to have an all Bluffton newscast, because we know the people of Bluffton, they want to hear about what's going on in their backyard, as they well should. So the feedback has been tremendous. The people that we've been able to partner with, the Bluffton Sun, the Old Town Merchants, with Rodney doing the Out and About report, Shellie West-Hodges doing the business report. I mean, it's really been a nice way to encompass our whole community in Bluffton, and really just deliver the news.
And it's such a service, too, when you think about the fact that the new Bluffton police chief has been a guest several times. Beaufort County officials have come on as well, State Senator Tom Davis. So you really give people access to information from people who really have an influence on Bluffton or have information for Bluffton. And, you know, let's face it, you're not going to get that kind of information from a station that's either coming from Savannah, Georgia, or up in Charleston. So it's really specialized.
No, yeah, you called it. I mean, that's exactly why we did it. We are offering something that you cannot get anywhere else, and that's really exciting to do. You know, obviously there's other media that's local, but we're the only television station that's covering our area, not only Bluffton, but Beaufort, Hilton Head, and like I said earlier, Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties. You know, this is the only place on television to get these stories, get this kind of detail on local happenings. And really, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we all care about the most, is the area we live in. So, you know, and bringing in state news as well. I mean, you know, the Savannah stations just don't cover a lot of South Carolina state news. So, you know, if you want to know what's going on in the capital, we're talking about Columbia on WHHI, stuff that affects us here in Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton County. They're talking about things in Atlanta. So it's really just a really good fit. We're glad that we filled this niche, and the feedback from viewers and advertisers and colleagues and everything has just been tremendous.
Well, if people go to WHHI-TV's website, Wayne, they're going to see a new look. But also services with regards to website design. That's something now HHI is offering.
Yeah,
correct?
I mean, if you want to see what WHHI could do for your organization or your business, just go to our media, go to our Twitter page, our Facebook, our website, our YouTube. I mean, it's just over the past 6 months, it's just all really taken off. And you know, we offer these services now because we were like many businesses, we didn't know what to do. So we went through this process, and we found a guy that has done a great job for us, and we liked him so much we brought him on staff, and now we can offer his services to everyone. And take a look at WHHITV.com, go to YouTube, hit our WHHI-TV channel, go to Facebook, like us, go to Twitter, follow us, and you'll see all the activities that we could provide for local businesses as well.
Well, that sounds great, and you know, it's nice to be able to deliver the ability to businesses to not only do television advertising, but also, as you mentioned, Twitter, Facebook. All of these things take time to manage.
Yeah, and you know, we've got a really close team here, and we want to offer a marketing mix. You know, TV, internet, video. You know, we do consultations about other media as well. I mean, our people are not just salespeople; they're marketing professionals. So, you know, we can offer advice and really just help somebody build their overall marketing plan. And the best part about it all is, you know, our rates have remained very affordable. So it's really, there's no better time to be, you know, an advertiser on WHHI than it is right now.
And it's an exciting time as we head into 2013 for WHHI TV station manager Wayne Morris. I want to thank you for joining us on the Bluffton News.
Thank you very much.
And that will do it for this edition of the Bluffton News. I'm Allie McNair in for Annalisa Itcore. She will return next week. From all of us here at WHHI TV, Happy New Year.